He was Snow White's biological mother. And the hunter opened fire on Snow White. Hey, drink of water now. My voice is starting to get dry, so I need some water. The last lesson on Tuesday was Mrs. Hughes' health education course. After dismissing the class, my classmates surrounded him wanting to chat. I wanted to ask him how he knew I was visiting my father at the hospital. I wanted to ask him to in class. But it didn't seem like those goals would be done anytime soon. I wasn't in a hurry though, so I decided to hand in my floral cordial report to Kunwei. Kunwei carefully placed my report in a drawer, and then began tearing Ginny off.
千羽，现在全班的就差你的还没交了。
没看见我正在写吗？
你就不能按时交一次作业吗？
唉，你们这些优等生可真有意思，总是喜欢催别人交作业。
我不像你，我写完了，快点儿，我要的作业呢？
The childhood friends kept exchanging jabs as if they were co-starring Oscar-winning actors. Lucio was looking at them and smiling. She looked at me and waved me over. I squeezed into Lucio's seats so we could both watch as he started mimicking the lines from Infernal Affairs between Tony Ying and Andy Law.
我要的参考你还未必带来了呢。
你什么意思啊？你到学校来赏花的？
给我个机会。
怎么给你机会？
之前我没得抄，现在我想借一份参考一下。
Well, okay.
好啊，去跟老师说，看他让不让你参考。
那你就是让我死。
对不起，我是班长。
边個知啊？
Childhood friends had taken in the most climatic scene from Infernal Affairs and changed the script. Had a different feeling, especially when Ginny spoke in Cantonese. Thinking about it, Cantonese is still mother tongue. It's only because I don't know how to speak it. That's why they speak in Mandarin to me. But the script wasn't going according to plan.
邊個知？邊個知？
反了你了！我是不是班长？你不知道啊？
Curry rolled up a report and then began banging on Ginny's head. Ooh. Ginny played Jisoo for help, but she just covered her belly laugh. I was still bitter about what happened on Saturday, but seeing how helpless she looked, I couldn't hate her anymore.
好了，秦薇。 你就放过他吧。
唉，这人就是这样，3天不打上房揭瓦。
Although she said that she still knew to put onto her desk.
别全抄成一样的啦。
Trini took the report and murmured.
谁的呀？这是？
我的，不抄是吧？那还给我。
这都给出去了，哪还能要回去的？等我参考完再给你。
Pillway rolled her eyes and expiration returned to her seat to count the number of reports.
不行了，笑死我了！
千羽，你说你演技这么好，怎么偏偏演不好朱丽叶呢？
I feel like that was a shot.
朱丽叶要是像他那么疯，早被罗密欧一剑捅死了。
Jeez. Kilway turned around and interrupted Ginny's stuck out her tongue. Kilway warned her that if she couldn't act properly by this weekend, then they're going to recast Juliet. I wasn't sure if I was seeing it, but she seemed to be looking at me when she said that.
子画，陪我去趟厕所吧。
你们今天先回去吧。
We both stood up and then quickly turned around and added.
没事，我们等一等钱宇。
那你们还是别等了，鬼知道他要写到什么时候。
那你呢？
我还得等到他抄完了交到办公室去呢。
子画，你急着回去吗？
She touched my hand and asked. Besides, wanted to ask Mrs. Yu about that day. I didn't have any other plans. But Queeway seemed to be in a rush and whispered something to Jushio. That's when she finally realized. After looking at each other, they both started laughing evilly.
那我们就先回去喽。
拜拜。
So, what's the plan?
嗯。
Those are the expressions. Juicy and I returned to the classroom. Mrs. Yu was just about to wrap things up as well.
子梭，你自己去厕所吧，我找老师有点事。
好。
我帮你拿书包吧。
好的，稍等，纸巾还在书包里。那你就在这里等我哦。
知道了。
After Juicy allowed Mrs. Yu, who was leaning on the door for him, gave me a sassy smile.
哟，嘿嘿，子画大姐，等我呢。
He spoke to me foolish, which disrupted my ritual play. I wanted to lash out at him, but now I had to refrain from doing so.
你是不是想问我怎么会认识你爸爸？
我没兴趣。
哦。
But he said it sadly, proved that he knows my situation well. Hell, I didn't think he was hired by someone with Lincoln's intent to investigate me. Otherwise, he didn't need to become a teacher. Rather, I should say, besides that woman, I couldn't think of anyone else who arranged for him to be a teacher.
是我母亲让你来监视我的吗？
Faced with my interrogation, he casually rubbed his chin and just laughed it off.
所以，你打算向她如实汇报吗？
子画大姐，如果你只是问我怎么认识你爸爸的，我还能告诉你。但是你问的这些问题都是我无法回答的，你说怎么办？
He shrugged and gave me a frustrated look.
该感到困扰的人是我才对吧？那你可以告诉我你的任期到什么时候吗？
到理事长回学校为止。
He put up his lips and told me clearly his confidence was just like that woman. It gave me chills.
老师，你是在骚扰子画吗？
Thankfully, I heard Juicy's ginger voice beside me, blocking that chillness.
怎么可能？子画同学只是关心一下我，还能当你们多久的老师而已。
是吗？那可能是因为老师长得实在太像坏人了。
I gave Juicy her skirt back. She took it and grabbed my hand. She constantly wanted to let go, but she gripped me tightly. Warm radiated from her palm and spread throughout my body. It contained a kind of amazing power. It gave me courage to resist.
记得转告他，我不会再像之前一样了。
Definitely, I won't let anyone take Juicy away from me. Not Jinyu, not my mother. Well, that failed. Well, we don't know if her mother did it, though. It kind of implies that maybe it did. Like, she's the one that caused the death. Like, maybe she was assassinated or something. But at the same time, it seems like that she didn't like the fact that Jushio and Zero were friends. But she didn't do nothing about it because a promise, I guess? Or she just chose to turn a blind eye? And something else happens. Personally, I feel like the mother would have caused it in some way. But you don't hear from her mother at all in the other game. So, if that was the case, I highly feel like Zero, when she got older, did something to her mom. Or made her give her, or send her to jail or something. Maybe she mentioned, I don't remember.
嘿嘿，路上小心啊！
I looked at disgusted smiling, dragging the confused Juicy out of school. On the way to the station, Juicy wanted to say something, but she hesitated and decided to remain silent. I really enjoyed holding her hand, walking at the same pace, passing through the crowd. She's a very good friend, just like the ones from books. She could share my happiness and burdens. She needn't say or do anything. She only knew my mother was extremely possessive of me. Not that she's a school director. Otherwise, she wouldn't have behaved like that in front of Mrs. Yu. But it's fine, we're already exposed. We don't need to hide in the shadows or feel what's to come. I relaxed my grip and moved my hands so it promised me. I then slipped my fingers into hers. Her hand was smooth and tender, making it easy for me. Because of my behavior, I could see her looking at me in disbelief. She then lowered her head to look out into her John's hands, but didn't say a word. Tightly gripped. Not sure any signs of weakness. I counted, but was finally her fingers were gripped tightly. Temperature wasn't low in broad daylight, but at night, even the southern climate didn't lose its pride. I put down my pen and placed a test paper to my fire, cut straight for so long was tired. I took out a piece of chocolate and put it inside my mouth, shut my eyes and waited for the release. It's not because the test paper was too difficult, rather it's because it's too simple, so my mind kept wondering. But it didn't matter now. I casually touched my bangs and Juice's image floated in my mind.
如果我也剪个短发，
That's it, Sardo, because that's what she does later on. I'm assuming she tries. Oh, it hits hard. This is the thing though, part of me does feel like they should have translated this game first, because this game, from what I saw, I'm pretty sure came out before Miracle in Love, but Miracle in Love got translated first in English. This one's second, which is opposite. So I do think that, I mean, it hits differently when you read it, because you can see how some things play out to this next game. But at the same time, if you saw this game first, then you would see what the after effects in the second game became. So, but it does make, I do think maybe doing the way they did was good, because it makes you really want to see, like, even though you know what's going to happen years later, you really want to see what events lead up to her death and what happens with the characters after. Like, I more want to see what happened to Jinyu, only because we know what happened to Ziwa, and we know what happened to Kinwei. You know, we don't see like Mrs. Yu not either, I guess, but you know, maybe he retired. I think he's probably like 50 at that time, so he might have retired or might have got thrown in jail, but I don't know. Ever since I was little, I've had this long hair. Of course, it's not by choice. I didn't thought of Jinyu just couldn't perform as Juliet.
很难吗？
I leaned on my chair and revolved in a circle, a slight tap on my feet as I recalled those scenes while gazing out the window.
罗密欧啊，罗密欧，为什么你偏偏是罗密欧呢？否认你的父亲，抛弃你的性命吧。也许你不愿意这样做，那么，只要你宣誓做我的爱人，我也不愿意再信凯普莱特了。
Maybe because there was no audience, even just in the lines with modern eyes, I was still enjoying it. Chocolate was mentioned in my mouth, sticking aside, so I could recite the songs clearly. I drank some water and continued my monologue.
只有你的名字才是我的仇敌。你即使不信蒙太古，仍然是这样的一个你。信不信蒙太古又有什么关系呢？他又不是手，又不是脚，又不是手臂，又不是脸，又不是身体上任何其他的部分。
It's really getting to the point.
啊，换一个姓名吧。姓名本来是没有意义的，我们叫做玫瑰的一种花，要是换了个名字，它的香味还是同样的芬芳。罗密欧要是换了别的名字， 她的可爱和完美也绝不会有丝毫改变。罗密欧，抛弃了你的名字吧，我愿意把我整个的心灵赔偿你这一个身外的空名。
I also feel like the voice actor for Zero has really get into this part. Because she's like letting out a lot of emotion really quickly. The scene with Romeo and Juliet met that night at Capulet's family garden's classic, so I still remember the lines. If I recall quickly, it's Romeo's son. Romeo, who's standing beneath the balcony, received Juliet's love, confession under the tender moonlight. But I'm not Juliet, so there isn't Romeo to shrill under the moon. Not even a promise that might change as the moon changes shape. Also, because my Romeo was unable to climb over my image's walls, and could call via phone to confess. I looked at the color ID and smiled mockingly. Say. It's hard to believe how quickly I go. Like, not saving, like how long. When you see stuff like this, you see how long I record a session. Like at the time of this video, I think it's like episode 15, I think. And you could see like August 9, but this is not gonna be uploaded like August 12th or 11th, 13th, something like that. Not 13th.
不好意思，你打错了。这里是凯普莱特家，只有朱丽叶，没有子画。
I teased her, cover my mouth and giggling.
那可以请朱丽叶接电话吗？
你是谁？为什么要找朱丽叶？
我是蒙太古家的罗密欧。
请稍等。
I never thought these two would play along. Now I feel like I had to keep playing along. I feel my face heating up, so I opened the balcony windows and stared intensely beneath the balcony. But she only patiently waited.
你猜我刚刚在干嘛？
猜不到，不过我知道你刚刚被朱丽叶附体了。
我现在也还是被朱丽叶附身着呢。我刚刚往阳台下面看了一眼，没看到你。
我在家里呀。
我知道，所以我不是朱丽叶。好了，不逗你了，有什么事吗？
没有事就不能给你打电话吗？
I couldn't see her face, but I could guess how she looked when she uttered that. I gently smiled.
当然，当然可以。
其实我就是突然想听一下你的声音。
She mumbled quietly. She thought I couldn't hear her.
你说什么？
没什么。
我听见你说想听一
Ah,
下我的
and
声
then
音
she said it.
你不是听到了吗？
想确认一下吗？其实我也想听到你的声音。
那你怎么不先跟我打电话呢？
因为朱丽叶只需要在家里等着，罗密欧就会来找她。
但是我连你家住在哪儿都不知道。
我告诉你，
I told her the location of my cage. Will you be like, want me to rescue me? Well, I wonder if she's actually gonna come over there suddenly and be below the balcony. Oh wait, no, I think it's after. Okay, this is like a week and a half later. Okay, we skipped a good bit actually. As it's ritual, I should have dyed my hair after washing it, even if it's short. She come here.
子画，那边的花坛我刚刚已经浇过水了。
Just like before, Zero and I went to school early to water the plants. I was recording the time and area when I spotted Zero walking over to the green flowers. They were already watered. Now again.
是吗？
I
但
thought
我
she
是不是
did for a
浇得
minute.
太少了。
Probably guess her mother. What's that?
喝完蓝冬季的时候不能浇太多水的，老师上课的时候不是讲过吗？
但是这么一点水真的够吗？
She held her cheeks and looked out a winter study tropical.
放心吧，没问题的。
I took a watering can, placed it on the tool shelf, and I turned around. Zia was covering her stomach with one hand while touching her forehead with the other. Her body was a bit wobbly. I hurriedly stepped forward to support her.
没事吧？
有点头晕，大概是没吃早餐，低血糖犯了。
你的巧克力呢？
在书包里。
Dropped our bags in the classroom before coming here, so we didn't have any sugary snacks.
我送你去保健室吧，能站得稳吗？
Honestly, it wouldn't have been possible to carry Zira there. She's taller and more built and down, so I held her under my armpit and put her arms around my shoulders, like the last time she fit in the classroom.
小心点。
But it only took one step before we tripped. We both fell to the ground. Oh, this
这种
is
浓浓的即视感，到底是怎么回事？
because I think it's been like 3-4 months since I saw that scene. But I mean, there was a scene where I think they fell to the ground. It was like the end of the demo. During that 1 minute, it felt like we were reenacting a combination of scenes from when we first met. When I carried her for me, and that time during the storm where her body flew towards me. Why, last time she was kneeling, this time we were lying flat on the ground.
子画，你没事吧？
I purely asked her. I had to be prudent because of how close our bodies were. Her body was pushed against mine and our foreheads touched. If I glanced down, I could see her pallid lips only a hair's breadth apart from my face. My upper lip could feel her breath. She probably could feel it too. Her breathing was calm, calmer than mine. We were fighting for fresh air in the tight space between us. The illusion could only hear that we made an ill feel with the pointed scent. She squinted her eyes, taking no heed to my predicament. She wiggled at my body, shyly pinching. Something was stuck inside my chest that I couldn't exhale or swallow. I squeezed my legs shut, forbidding her from pushing any further in. Her stockings were rubbing against my bare thighs. The itchiness made me. She closed her. Wait, she closed. I squeezed my legs shut, forbidding her from pushing any further in. Whoa, okay, this is getting a little bit more kinky than the last game. You had a couple of scenes that were kind of fan servicey, but not really. Like they were kinda, but it just mostly a romance thing. But then you have this, which, whew, it's kind of like just trying to push and get some like action. I wanted to push away, but couldn't find the strength. No matter how much I tried, I grew weaker upon the question of her hair tips. Ah! As I pondered what to do was what I was most worried about. They kissed still? I mean, I guess it would make sense if she's feeling sick and wobbly, and you know, sometimes when you have that, sometimes being anxious or scared or whatnot might not be there as much. So normally I don't think she would ever do that, but I think because of the way she was feeling, she just didn't have that. She wasn't scared to do it. She did it. Slowly losing consciousness, her body relaxed and went in my nose. She turned her face and kissed my lips. After tasting the sweetness of my lipstick, her tongue was aggressively licking my lips, attempting to invade my mouth. Totally flushed, I never thought this would happen, so I forgot to clench my teeth as a final defense. Tongue was having its way inside my mouth. I didn't want to bite her, so I used my tongue to counterattack, trying to drive her up from my territory. Instead, our tongues ended up being tangled. To her, my tongue must have been a delicacy. She rolled her tongue and wanted to suck it into her mouth. After failing a few times, she decided to give up, but she kept slipping. I decided to shut my eyes and allow her to suck all the moisture from my body. After surrendering, I suddenly realized I could have tilted my head sideways and made her attack, but I never thought to do that. Or maybe I already knew, but I chose to give up and plunge myself deep into a kiss. I straightened myself to her lips, both of us moaning seductively. As if this wasn't enough, she worked her way down my chin and gradually approached my neck. Her hands were playfully swimming around my hips. She unbuttoned my jacket and put out... Wait, let me read this again. Okay, first of all, they're in the garden. So it seems like it's getting a little bit freaky. Now, I don't think it will, because I think once she realized that she's getting a little too much, she will stop. I think. Okay, she unbuttons my jacket and put out the hem of my skirt that was tucked in my skirt. Her icicle fingers were stuck in my waist. Then her hand slipped over the zipper and buttons on my shirt, reaching for the door that was somehow already open. Jeez.
不行，
That's so. Somehow I found the willpower to put up my last line of defense. When I regained my composure, I discovered that I was in my room, lying on the bed, so it was a dream. Okay.
原来是梦啊！
Woo! It seemed real, and it seemed like something that happened because I've seen scenes like that before. And since he's wobbling kind of air, you know, I feel like, you know, Zero could go for the kiss. You know, she's not thinking, and if they're that close, she might just lose her composure. But then she started unbuttoning and get a little bit, which at that point I was starting to think, I don't know if Zero would go that far, but thinking though she might, if she lost her composure, she might go that far. It wasn't official for me though. I rubbed my chest, I could hear my heart beating fast, as if it's about to pop out. I've had dreams like that before, I'm not gonna lie. If I ever like someone a lot, and then I have a really good dream like that that feels realistic, and then you wake up, your heart just beating like super fast, like a sweating and everything.
子花，
My hair was dizzy, a lingering touch remained on my lips. It didn't feel bad. I tightly shut my eyes, recalling the kiss before the sensation faded away. My rationality and emotions were clashing against each other. It wasn't right to fall in love with someone of the same sex, but some people will always take that risk, like me. I covered myself under the blanket and my body squirmed. I lightly bit my finger. My body felt a bit hard, but I kept trembling. Ecstasy that Zero brought me there last night, perhaps because the warmth was an illusion.
如果真的是和子花，应该可以坚持更久吧。
When the sensation started to disappear, my mind finally calmed down. Although my heart was still beating fast, I could at least control my breathing.
难道我喜欢上子花了？
Of course, I'm not talking about friendship. After all, nobody would imagine tasting the forbidden fruit with a friend. If I didn't like her or had fallen in love with her, then there must be something wrong with me. Maybe falling in love with the same sex is a sign that something's wrong? I closed my eyes again and waited for the morning alarm.
你喜欢上谁了？
A voice that wasn't Mom's echoed from behind. I think it's Zero. Foolishly, I turned around and I saw Zero kneeling at my bedside, smiling daintily at me.
还在做梦吗？
After having been taught a lesson, I immediately grasped the situation. If this wasn't a dream, then how did Zero get into my room? But since this is just a dream...
喜欢上你了？
No, it's probably not a dream. It's not a dream. I can even tell that's 100% not a dream. I could openly say what I couldn't otherwise. No, it's a no. She was shocked to hear my confession. In my dream, she was so dominant. Now she's just like always. She blushed, but she immediately regained her composure.
有多喜欢？
喜欢到想当个男生，一辈子和你在一起。
不用当男生，也可以一辈子和我在一起啊。
当男生就可以娶你了。
She blinked her bright eyes and her lashes shifted up and down. I wanted to grab them.
子作要是变成男生了，那我就不喜欢你了。
那你就别喜欢我了，我也不喜欢你了。
But she was trying to figure out what I meant. My hands had always reached her cheeks, my arms were weak, and the face I touched was icy cold, further proving that all this was illusion. She's gonna kiss?
子画，我好像爱
Oh
上你了。
no, there it is. It's a dream anyway, then I'll spill all the secrets I could never actually let Zero know, then I'll never mention it again. The Zero in my dreams held my hands. My delicate fingers would playfully tap my hands with an unknown rhythm. Droplets were forming in her eyes, reflecting like twinkling stars under the dim lights.
从什么时候开始？
从第一次见到你的那天开始，
第一次见面，那好像并不是太愉快的相遇吧？
I shook my head and raised my head towards my eyebrows. I caressed them and they began to tell her about my childhood.
可惜，那不是我。
She gripped my hands angrily. There was a fleeting moment when her jealousy showed, just like that time of a certain someone. It is. How can you not remember? It was her. What happened so many years ago was in fact the Zero we know now. It's plain as day. It's definitely her. How can she not remember? She at least has a charm. Like, did her mother do something to make her forget? I don't know.
如果他是你，那你早在12年前就已经占据了我的心房。如果不是你，那他一定就是天使，才让我记住了你的名字。
Her hands trembled, her cheeks faintly red.
那到什么时候结束？
到有一天，我睁开眼，却怎么都找不到你。我打你的电话，但却是空号。我去问所有认识我们的人，他们却怀疑我疯了。我跑去你的家里，开门的却是从未见过的大婶。
That very sounds very like the one of the Indians to Medically Love will like literally when the main character mentions you or whatever, cause she doesn't answer. When she acts, basically everybody thinks she's crazy. When she goes to her house, nobody's there. Pretty much like the stranger parts is different, but basically like, you know, it's kind of the same.
我拼命寻找着你存在过的证据，但却一无所获。 我努力回忆着与你相处的点滴，脑海里却只有一片空白。我种下一片石蒜花，将它们都染成克莱因蓝。每当有人问起，我就告诉他们，这些花的名字叫做紫花。我分给附近的孩子们巧克力，让他们在我死后也继续照顾着他们。
It's not a
继续
dream.
叫他们走。
It's not a dream.
就这样一直种下去。
就这样，一直。
I spent everything in my mind, feeling relieved and uneasy at the same time. I kept pushing my emotions onto her, but didn't once consider her feelings. I'm the one who's strange. How can I look forward to Zero being the same?
不过，这是梦啊。
I comforted myself. Maybe because my heart is set, I forgot the most important pre-escape before she confessed to her.
我该说什么？
Sharp words snapped me out of my reverie.
说你想说的。
我不知道。谢谢你爱我。
Not knowing what expression she should give, Zero only smiled awkwardly. I could tell she chose to leave some words unsaid. But I wasn't disappointed. I already expected this. I should be thankful that this was just a dream. If I'm rejected, I could at least reevaluate my feelings towards her and go back to being a friend. The dream should be coming to an end, just like my despicable feelings towards Zero.
可以再吻我一次吗？
No! It's supposed to be... Oh, I think I double skipped. No, okay. I did. I thought that was good. Then why was I choking on my own voice? Something gets stuck in my throat? Why was I crying like a trouble? Did her surprised look come from my absorbed request or my crying face or both? They say you know a dream is about to end when it comes to Texas, so it looks like my dream is about to end. I put Zero, who was still in shock, towards me and kissed her chewy lips. Whatever it's her icy sweet lips or my warm tears, they would eventually fade away after the kiss. I closed my eyes, solid waiting to wake up. And then you don't wake up. That sucks. That's that sucks. It's not a dream. You just confessed everything. However, when I opened my eyes again, all I could see was Zero's face. I think she put away. Her eyes shivered a bit before she opened them. Her red cheeks were obvious in contrast to her pale voice. She daintily pouted her lips and placed her cold palms on my forehead, pushing me onto the pillow. That cold sensation was comfortable. They could rest in my pores.
好好休息，我先走了。
Her words were like a warm wind that blew as she left, drowning myself in the realm where the lines of reality and dream. I lay dumbfounded on my bed, staring at the ceiling. I didn't hear Mom's voice from the living room.
这就要回去了，吃了晚饭再走吧。
感谢您的好意，不过我家里的门禁比较严。
You know, how long have I been sleeping?
这可真是，也好，免得紫苏把感冒传染给你。
But she's always infected.
等紫苏病好了，一定要再来呀。
好的，一定会的。
我送你。
I wonder if she thinks she was kind of being delusional, and that she was kind of, like she was saying all this stuff, but she knows she wasn't in the right mindset.
不用了，您去照顾紫苏吧，她好像有点渴了。
After the door closed, Mom walked in with a glass of warm milk.
紫苏，感觉好一点没有啊？
妈，现在几点了？
6点多了。
晚上？
对啊，
我今天没去上课。
你早上发烧了，妈妈就帮你请了假呀。
My heart tightened and my body involuntarily shivered. She did wake up, and she was like heart pounding real bad, her face was red. So maybe she didn't have a fever, but when she went to bed, she still felt like hot. So your mom died with a fever.
那刚刚的紫画不是梦？
Oh no, and she realized.
什么梦不梦的？你睡在这儿都做了一整天的梦了吧？
Oh no.
人家紫画一放学就赶过来看你了，你病好了去了学校，可要好好谢谢人家。
Hearing her say that, I was left speechless. I guess there wasn't an opportunity to say thank you anymore.
你是不知道紫画来的时候那副紧张的样子，妈妈还以为是你的小女朋友呢。
妈，我也是女生啊。
这有什么呀？放心，妈妈很开明的。
I wasn't sure whether that was what she really thought or she was just teasing me, regardless, I wasn't in the mood.
哎呀，出去出去，你出去了！
I rolled over with my back facing her and covered myself with my blanket, afraid that she might see through me.
妈妈把水放桌上了，要趁热喝哦。
知道了，知道了，出去啊！
要不要妈妈帮你把饭端进来？
不要。
I finally understood what it felt like every time Junior made a huge mistake. I was confused. I didn't know how to face Zero anymore. Maybe our friendship would end. That's tough. I feel really bad for her now. Next day. I wonder how this is gonna go. Who should non-Christmas or Christians think on Thanksgiving? Okay, that was it. Okay, good. One, I guess. Oh yeah, it is Thanksgiving, right? 24th? Yeah, I didn't put the guy. I was just looking at dates. I forgot it really was. Today's Thanksgiving. Although it's not due for a country, teachers do taught us how to make pumpkin pie. The steps were simple, but in practice it wasn't as easy to make. After failing a few times to make the pie crust, Jenny and Gray were forced to be spectators.
为什么老师和紫苏做起来就那么轻松？太不公平了！
别说了，真是丢人。
The childhood friends dropped their heads and observed GCO. I was also sitting with them, but for a different reason.
子画，我要去打点热水，要帮你带吗？
If you look right through her name, that's misspelled. The A and U must be switched. Anyway, stood up and pointed to my cup, which was almost empty. After having my first kiss stoned by GCO, I said I caught a cold too. However, it wasn't serious, like calling a sick day.
谢谢，麻烦你了。
不要这么客气嘛。
Kiwi smiled and chided me, seemingly a little displeased by my politeness. Then she went to my pantry to pour me a cup of water. Went to the pantry.
有些烫，小心一点哦。
昨天是紫苏感冒，今天是紫画感冒，那明天是我还是小薇呀？
你以为这是什么都市传说里的诅咒吗？
Oh, I just realized she must actually had a code. GCO or something. I didn't think, I really just thought it was because of the dream she had that maybe she mobbed the star out of it and didn't wake up. Kiwi exceptionally knocked on Junior's head.
对呀，而且哪有人还盼着自己感冒的？
She's just been awfully quiet. I took a sip of hot water but soothed my body.
但是现在正在做南瓜派的是一个昨天刚生病请假的人哎，等会儿我们吃了他做的南瓜派，不就也感冒了？
I didn't think we'd get affected just from eating a pie that she made.
拜托，紫苏又不是在南瓜派里下毒，下感冒病毒。
万一他不小心打了个喷嚏呢？不行，我要盯紧他，免得他偷偷往里面吐口水。
哇，你怎么这么恶心啊！
Junior's imagination was like a wasted car sail flying to the edge. We could look disgustingly at her.
那你等会儿就别吃，我在里面下了毒的。
Jisoo, who had just finished putting the pie in the oven, raised her head and attacked Junior.
啊，紫苏，你听见了？
She rolled her eyes at Junior, and then our eyes met. I smiled at her, but she avoided my gaze. She's been avoiding me since this morning. I was supposed to be the victim, having caught a cold from her. I couldn't figure out what she's thinking, so I could only stare at one side and limit while I chat with the childhood friends.
话说感恩节难道不是应该吃火鸡吗？为什么老师不教我们料理火鸡？
哪有那么多火鸡给你浪费啊？
I like the way she says that.
怎么可能会浪费？火鸡随便烤烤就很好吃啦。
随便烤烤的就不能算是感恩节的火鸡了呀。
After GCO confessed to me, all my impulses towards Junior disappeared. After all, I already knew she likes me. It felt wrong, but that triumphant feeling was occupying my heart.
不过说到底，我们为什么要学做感恩节的南瓜派呢？
Junior, you complain too much.
Huh?
I didn't quite understand what she meant. Her childhood friend looked at her confusingly.
感恩节不是美国人才过的吗？
加拿大人也是会过感恩节的，只不过是日期和美国的不一样。
还有埃及、希腊也是会过感恩节的。
Kiwi and I patiently taught Junior about Thanksgiving. She didn't look at us and ask.
那英国有感恩节吗？
那倒没有。
所以我才奇怪啊，玲花的姊妹学校不是在英国的吗？
那你就得去问学校领导了。
我才不去呢，就是随口说说而已。
Junior didn't seem to get the interest she wanted to begin. Mess with her hair regardless, she was just restless. Kiwi and I looked at each other and smiled bitterly.
还要喝热水吗？我去帮你倒。
不用了，我自己可以的。
I rejected Kumi's offer, grabbed my cup and headed for the water dispenser. As I walked across our group's kitchen counter, Jisoo, whose hair was lowered while she was making the fillings, called my arm, although she didn't call my name.
小薇，来帮我尝尝。
Jisoo raised her head and realized it was me. She faintly looked away. I wasn't happy with how she reacted. If it was only the two of us, I would have asked for an explanation, but I decided to wait. It's the last class anyway. I could ask her after school.
找秦维吗？我去帮你叫他。
不用了，我只是不小心把你看成小维了。
这也能看错？
It was only days since her confession. Now, just after 24 hours, she mistook me for somebody else. Judging from my attitude, I began to suspect whether her confession was just crazy talk from her feet.
我刚刚低着头，眼睛的余光就只看到了胸部的位置。
你难道是看胸识人的吗？
I giggled at her excuse. I couldn't bring myself to hate her.
才不是好吧，我又不是变态。
好吧，那你到底要不要找秦维？
We both looked at the spectators. Kramer was disciplined junior, and I guess she must have done something that got her worked up again. She pouted her lips and pushed the stuff in front of me. Because of my coat, I had to lean closer before I could smell the sweet aroma from the pumpkin pie fillings.
不用了，子画你也行，帮我尝尝馅料的味道。我感冒了，尝到的味道可能会有偏差的。
但是我也感冒了呀。
I raised my head, stared at the copy who gave me the coat and pointed to myself. She lowered her head, blushing and avoided my eyes. Seeing her cute reaction, I heard it in the urge to hug her and continue our conversation.
不过我的感冒比较轻，应该还是能尝出味道的。
那就麻烦你了。
She handed over a plastic spoon to me, then I handed her the cup I was holding and cautiously opened my mouth. Afraid that she might be embarrassed, I even closed my eyes. Actually, I was more embarrassed than her. Very good.